Aisle7 is a company that was founded on the premise that people wanted to know more about vitamins and herbs, but had a hard time finding that information. And so we created an information and a technology delivery system. Our company is about 30 people, and we have customers all over the world, like Vitamin Shoppe and GNC, Whole Foods, and Kroger. Almost all of our communication is done with our customers by email, and all of our deals are done through email. If we didn't have email, we find out very quickly how little business we can do. We're a company that relies heavily on Outlook. I use it for calendaring, I use it for email, I use it for to-do lists, and I use it for all of my contact lists. And I need that replicated on my phone and on my laptop and in the office.
Our Exchange server was starting to fail, and we realized that we needed to act quickly to find an alternative provider for our email system.
We made a decision to try the Google Apps, and that started a journey that was difficult for us.
Google Apps had advertised the ability to continue to use Outlook using their Google Apps Connector tool.
The pricing was right, but it was very clear it didn't work very well with Outlook.
The three main tools that we used from the Google Apps suite were the email, the calendaring, and the unified communications. We didn't use the Google Docs suite mostly because it wasn't as feature-rich and people didn't know how to use it. There was an expectation that by moving to the cloud, I would have to manage this service less. In reality, I ended up managing it quite a bit more.
Our first set of problems was just disappearing appointments. We would set up a meeting and not everybody would get the appointment.
Email invitations would go out as a calendar invite. People wouldn't see them, or they would get them but they couldn't accept them. Or somebody out of the blue would get a notification that somebody else had declined a calendar invite that happened months ago.
I was getting errors in my calendaring. I was getting duplicate contact lists. Some of the email wasn't being delivered because there were file size limits that weren't our restrictions. They were restrictions that were put on us by an outside party.
The Google Apps web interface is just frustrating to use. Copying and pasting a picture into a new email that you're composing, attaching an email to another email, selecting an old email and resending that message. Google Apps support is fairly lacking. The main support avenue is to post issues on their forums if they're not system down issues. There's not a whole lot of response from Google Apps employees on those forums. What finally made us realize that we needed to seek another solution was for a period of several months, we could no longer be sure that all of our emails were arriving in our Outlook inbox. You could see them in the web interface, but you could not see them in Outlook.
When the BPOS system came along from Microsoft, it was a pretty easy decision for us to change back, and also came with a pricing model that fit our needs.
When our employees heard the news that we were going back to an Exchange offering, there was a lot of happy faces around the office.
It took us about a week to get from Microsoft to Google Apps, but it was basically the next day when we came in, we were up and running with the Microsoft stuff.
The BPOS offering had everything that we were looking for, from the large mailbox sizes to a unified communications tool, and even had some additional major benefits, such as every user getting the ability to conduct his or her own web conferences.
It's good to have calendars that work. When I say I'm out of the office, it shows up that I'm out of the office. If I'm in a meeting, it shows that I'm in a meeting. Now that it's incorporated with Live Meeting, that's terrific because we can schedule all that from a single place in Outlook.
With BPOS, I can pick up the phone and reach somebody within a few minutes, 24/7. I can open a ticket online and have that ticket responded to either over the phone or back online again.
Our company relies on communicating with our customers, and all the tools that we need to do this business, including our product itself, rely on a foundation of Microsoft.